Dear student, Assalamu alaikum. I hope that everyone is fine and healthy along with your daily lives and activity. Let me thanks once again God Almighty Allah for being fine and healthy. I wish every one of you having a pleasant moment of life and enjoying your life. May Allah all protect us from all kinds of disaster of this world as well as in hereafter. So today we're going to talk about educational institutions of a subjects of sociology, the lecture number 9. So as you better know that itself what education means to us and what is the meaning of education, why we are getting educations, for what purpose we get the education, it's always clear and obvious for everyone. Everyone knows about it. Its importance in today's life. So it is quite obvious if you see around the world, the developed countries already have a peaceful and a life full of joy and a life full of stability they're passing. So they have every sort of opportunities. It's all about the assets of educations that they are having. It's all about the fruit of education that they have gained throughout their life. So the missing word, the word which have been ignored too much in Afghanistan, that is educations. Most of the populations are uneducated, so that's why they are indulged in many sort of activity that caused destruction of the country, that caused war, and that caused the mental health problems of the peoples. So it's a clear example. The picture of Afghanistan is in front of you. If you see, it is all in the result of illiteracy. If once again we get a proper educations and we are being properly qualified, I'm sure this country will lead one of the most prosperous nation in the world, and it will lead the world as well as it was leading in the past, and it was a great example in the past before the war. But now I'm going to say about that it's very much important. We need the educations more than any other things in Afghanistan. So that's why we have chosen the topic that today we're going to discuss about education, because this education is talking about to solve all the social problem which is existing in human societies. So for that reasons, a good education will make you happy, but a bad education will always make you cry, and a bad education will never change your life, but a good education is definitely helping you to change your life, to enjoy your life. A bad education will be a curse on you, but a good education will be a good thing for you to enjoy your futures. So that's why we say that education is a vaccine for violence. It is quoted from the Edward James. It is a vaccine for violence. It means that once the vaccine is enter the body, it is making antibody against the antigen which enter the body. It's attacking. So that's why we say that vaccine is giving just to build up the body immunity against the antigen which is entering the human body and that is attacking the body. Before that, the antigen enter the body, vaccine has already built up the immunity of a system. It can destroy the antibody that is entering the human body. So the same is the nation where there is education is common, and education is having a free accessory body to it, so that nation has already passing their life with a great passions and with a great happiness. But the nation where there is no common, education is not common, so there's some other things are common which are always making the people to live in unfortunately in a really bad conditions, so that we might call it war. So let us we all the nation be properly educated. So next time whatever the problem arises in this country, we will be in the front line to support this nation in regard to the solution of many problems that we have been facing in the future. So that's why he who opens a door, he who opens a school door closes a prison. هر کس که در مکتب را خواه باز کرد، در بندیخانه بند می شود. So let us open the doors and closes the prison door. It is only possible by opening the door of school and university. So it's very much important. Now, all individual is born only a biological being, but soon a social being. The transformation of a biological to social take place through socialization and education. Education is a process of that develop the personality and inherent capabilities of a child. It means that the one who comes to this world is born, his mind is empty, if there is nothing in his mind. It's only a biological being. Changing such being into a social person's to be a very fruitful and productive and beneficial person for the society is that person should pass through the stage of socializations and education. So finally the person will be one of the greatest one for the society as well as for himself. So that's why education is a long life process that is developing the personalities and the inherent ability of a person's. So what is the meaning of education? So etymologically, the word education is derived from educare or educare, Latin verse. It means to bring up, which is related to educare, which means to bring out, bring forth what is within, bring about potential, and to lead. So the term education itself it means to develop in a person's or in a people their habits and attitudes with which he or she or they successfully face the futures. So education means the development of faculty of your mind. Education means the development of self and others for a prosperous and a successful future generations. So it has various meanings. Education means to bring the people up, to build up them, to make them great and strong, to make them unified, and to make them immune against any sort of problems. So there is various definition regarding the education. So it's the process of facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, and belief in habits is called education. Is called education. Education is a form of learning in which the knowledge, skills, and habits of a group of people are transformed from one generation to the next through teaching, training, and research. یک پروسه آموزش است توسط کدام که علم، ارزش‌های انسانی، مهارت‌ها، عادات و نظریات اشخاص از یک گروه به انتقال می شود، از افراد انتقال می شود، از یک نسل به نسل بعدی با توسط با همکاری تدریس کردن، تحقیق کردن و ترینینگ دادن توسط این از یک نسل به نسل بعدی انتقال می شود. باز توسط اینمی افرادی که ترینینگ دیده شده، ریسرچ کرده شده، تدریس شده برشان انسان‌های بهترین از ساخته می شود. بالاخره این کار میکند در بخش‌های مختلف تا بتواند به جامعه خود خدمات انجام بده. So education is the transmission of knowledge, skills and values, whether that is taking place by formal or informal means. انتقال علم و نظریات، مهارت‌ها و ارزش‌های انسانی چی از راه رسمی باشه چی از راه غیر رسمی باشه، it is called education. So there is various definition of educations, like education is a gradual process which brings positive change in human life and behaviors. یک پروسه تدریجی آموزش هستند که کدام که در زندگی انسان یک تغییر مثبت میارد. Education as a process of acquiring knowledge through study or imparting the knowledge by way of instruction or some other practical procedures. Or itself, education brings a natural and lasting changes in individual reasoning and ability to achieve the targeted goals. Or education is to facilitate us to investigate our own consideration and thoughts and make it ready to express it in various shapes. بدون از آموزش ترقی امکان ندارد. مملکت هایی که پیشرفت و ملت هایی که پیشرفت کرده امروز از برکت تحصیل هستند. ما که پس ماندیم، ببینید 40 سال در افغانستان تا به هنوز جنگ هم است. در گذشته انسان هایی که میخواستند رسیدگی به تعلیم و تحصیل بکند نتانستند، در دوره جهالت ماند تا به امروز از بسیاری از بدبختی ها که ما به متقاعد و مربوط به ملت های دیگر می شویم، بدون از ها امکان ندارد که ما زندگی را امروز به پیش ببریم. It's all about because illiteracy به خاطر جهالت و ناپوهی ما شما هستند. هر مشکل ما توسط خارجی حل میشه. اگر دکتر خارجی است، اگر انجینر خارجی است، اگر سیاست ما شما هر چی که از توسط دیگران به پیش می رود، به خاطر که آنها تحصیل کرده هستند، متخصصین رشته خودشان هستند. ما شما متاسفانه در طول زمان در ایجا که بودیم و در گذشته نسل های گذشته ما در ایجا بودن، در جهالت و فقر نستی خود زندگی کس پیش بردن، نتانستند که به حالت ملت و این مملکت خدمت انجام بده. خب ما امروز از هر چی بیشتر به تحصیل ضرورت داریم، تحصیلی که درست باشه، به خاطر که درست تاثیر ما را خوش نگاه میکنه. ما اول گفتیم که a good education makes you happy. اگر ما تحصیل بکنیم، ببینید ما و شما همیشه خوشحال روا، بدون از چرون چرا و مشکلات و فکر و چیزا دور می باشیم. اگر ما تحصیل نکنیم، طبعا ما در وضعیت خواهد قرار داشت که ما نتانیم حتی مشکل خود را حل بکنیم، بان که ما مشکلات دیگران را حل بکنیم. So education is very important for all of us. So aims of education، اهداف تعلیم چی هستند؟ To develop the power of thinking and the acquisition of informations، تا که فکر ما قوی شود، معلومات ما زیاد شود. Education is a search for virtue and truth rather than technical proficiencies. همیشه تحصیل که هستند به خاطر تحقق حقیقت هستند. ما به خاطر حقیقت تب و تلاش میکنیم، تحصیل میکنیم، خود را میفهمیم. Education to provide equipment and techniques، امرای برای ما یک راهنمود و یک وسیله هستند توسط کدام که ما زندگی را پیش میبریم. To meet various needs of life، همه ضرورت های زندگی توسط تحصیل میتونیم ما او را برآورده و ختم بکنیم و مرفوع بسازیم. It shapes our attitudes، فکر ما، مزاج ما، تفکر ما، فعالیت های اقتصادی و غیر اقتصادی و اجتماعی ما را جور میسازد، او را یک تصویر میده، یک شکل میده. This education prepares us for behaving in a certain manners، ما و شما را به این آماده میسازد که ما از با کدام طریق عمل خود را، فعالیت خود را انجام بدیم. We can realize the social goal. Education socializes an individual into useful member of society. از فرد یک فرد مفید به جامعه جور میکند. To look for lasting truth based on reasons. And beside all, now we talk about educational institutions. ادارات تعلیمی، مکاتب است، متوسطه است، لیسه است، میخانیک لیسه است، تکنیکی لیسه است، مدرسه است، پوهنتون است، کالج است. هر چی که هستند این ادارات اجتماعی و ادارات تحصیلی به خاطر فراگیری تعلیم به انسان ها سهولت مهیا می‌سازد و سهولت کاری می‌کند. So education institution and institution dedicated to educations، اداراتی که به خاطر تعلیم وقف شده باشه اون رو educational institution میگیم. Educational institutions are defined as entity that provide instructional services to individual or educational related services to individual in other educational institutions. An educational institution is a place where people of various ages gain an education. Example of some of the institutions are preschool, primary school, secondary school, higher school, and further in higher education. They give a wide variety of learning environment and learning process. So all these educational institutions are providing a learning environment and giving a learning opportunities for those who are really in need of educations to support themselves for their future careers. Institutions or establishment. So an organization founded and united for a specific purpose, it's the meaning of institutions or establishment. So preschool is an educational institution for children too young for elementary school. And school, an educational institution, the school was founded in 1900. School, an institution, an institutional institution, faculty and student. The school keeps parents informed. The whole school turn out for the game. It means that it makes the people to understand well regarding their life. College, an institution of higher education created to educate and grant degree, often a part of a university. An university, a large and a diverse institution of higher learning created to educate for life and for professional and to grant a degree. So these are some terms regarding to educational institutions. Now we're talking about why do we need education? Why do we need education? A question is concerning there. So why do we need educations? Just like food and shelter, education has become basic necessity of life. Education mind means an open and healthy mind. Education is lifelong journey for every person from childhood to young age. Education never leaves your hand. It walks side by side. To become successful and to make a good career, one has to be well educated. Need of education is like watering a plant. One of the important nutrients, if you avoid watering your life, you will grow, but you will lack in capability in fruits of life. So that's why education is most powerful weapons through which we can change the world. طوری که ما به آب، غذا، پناه ضرورت داریم، قسم ما به تحصیل هم ضرورت داریم. توسط تحصیل میتونیم آموزش میتونیم همه زندگی ضرورت‌های زندگی خود را ما پورا کنیم و همه مشکلات زندگی توسط این ما میتونیم که او را مرفوع و حل بسازیم. جایی که تحصیل نباشه اوج مصیبت‌ها و مشکلات و بدبختی‌ها میباشه. جایی که تحصیل باشد اینجا امن است، خوشی است، خوشحالی است، ترقی است. So it's very important to get the education. And according to my opinions, it's quite important to understand that education is an essential factor in which every individual should have it in their life, and it's the only way of to have a prosperous and a successful futures. Without education, we wouldn't be possible to live in this world in a harmony and comfortable and stabilities. The only thing that can bring happiness, stability is in a peaceful environment that can provide for us with the help of education, because almost many of the factors that is leading to other disaster of the worlds that is made by human beings is going to be defeated by the help of education. So it's a machinery. Education is like a washing machine. It's washing all the dirt from the clothes. The same thing, the educated peoples are washing all the violence from the societies. So that's why we say it's very important. Education is not just to write and read. It is all about using education for their own advantage and to utilize the knowledge for their growth. Also, one can lead their own life without depending on others. It is not about making people literate. Literacy is entirely a different education. So it's quite important for all of us just to follow the steps which is really required for the education. So education is the key to success. Without a good education, you will find hard to achieve success in your life once. تعلیم خودی کلیه و کلی کامیابی هستن. اگر ما بدون از این کلی زندگی خود را به پیش ببریم امکان ندارد. ما همراه همه مشکلات زندگی دیگری باز روبرو میشیم. همه تکالیف دنیا که هستند میتونیم توسط تحصیل، میتونیم توسط آموزش و ما کم بدیم و او را از بین ببریم. A good education is important because you all will be able to think for yourself and communicate intelligently to other people. Person who don't have a good education background will have a difficult time finding jobs and always earn less money. کسایی که تحصیل کرده نیستند میتوانند وظیفه بسیار مشکل پیدا کنند. اگر پیدا هم کند با پول بسیار کم بازو مشکلات زیادی همراه زندگی خود دست و گریبان می باشد. به این خاطر تحصیل بسیار مهم است. Because education is a gateway to professions. یک راه هستند، یک دروازه هستند به خاطر مسلک و وظیفه. If a person is unable to reason and think for himself, then that person will have problem in finding and keeping jobs. They will not be very successful in life until they improve their educational background. So education is not necessary only to get success in life. Yes, it is true. Educated people do get success by having a good education in their respective field. But the most interesting thing is even uneducated people can be more successful. The only thing is if they have a talent or passion which they follow and want to create it in the way to be unique for the one that to be successful. A good mindset, a practical knowledge, and trusted passions and a good trick are required to achieve success. If we visit other countries, in some countries they don't see the marks carved at all to give a jobs to employ. They only see the passions and dedication of person toward the respective job. So it's very important to have these assets in our hands and go ahead with these assets. Don't let this asset to go away from yourself. It is the only thing that can help us in our future careers, in our future life. It's the only thing through which we can use the word in a wise way. Otherwise we might be facing with lots of millions of problems and will be suffering a lot if we're uneducated, if the nation is uneducated. So it was all about today's lecture about educations. Thank you for your passions. Thank you for your attentions. May you all be happy and wish you a prosperous and a healthy life. Thank you for the time being with me. Allah Hafiz till